And all the time, all of them are equipped with the one ring, because of course they are, and they all in Spidey suits pointing at each other. And of course there might be just one player who just really into food and really into cosplaying. Let's go! Some of which are in the set, but you can only get this specific art by buying this scene bundle that comes like in a book, I believe, because it was previously done. Pretty nice. I'll be reviewing the actual effects and stuff because I'll view this as a collector's item. So let's go down. We have the secondary scene, which contains two mythics in the Gwen Stacy and Miles Morales. So you can see here that these come in the actual set by the set symbol. So meaning to collect this, you'll need to actually get these cards in the special showcase art and assemble it on your own. Again, these are not might, they definitely come in foil. And because they come in foil, that means that you can get them regular, you can get them foil, or any mix of them. Pretty nice. And even with reveal, didn't realize until recently that they were all the same image, because some of these were spoiled later than others. So that's pretty nice, and a good callback to Spider-Man Into Spider-Verse. So let's keep going back up now. Next we have the costume change cards. So the effect is generally kind of weak, but the callback here is all these costumes. So we have the Venom, the classic Spider-Man, his Fantastic Four costume when he lost it and he had to use a paper bag because he hid his identity. We have this suit here. We have his stealth suit. I believe this is one of his upgraded suits. I fail to see the difference between this suit and this suit. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't see a difference. And this one is the anti-venom suit, I believe. So pretty good. Again, effect not that strong, but the collectability of trying to get all of these, because again you're trying to get a specific rain and one of multiple arts. And again, huge collectors going to have a field on this. Again, regular and foil. So if you want to collect all these regular and foil, good luck. We're going up to the classic comic book arts. Again, if you saw a video yesterday, we already talked about this, but then when you have true revealed, all our transforming cards, we have Peter, Miles, and Eddie, all comic book accurate. We'll take a quick look at them. So there we go, that's the actual art for the comic book section, where it looks like a comic book. Next we have Miles. There we go again, that's special comic book art. And lastly we have Eddie Brock, looking really good here. And let's go up. So far we have the panel card revealed so far. We have a couple of sagas in the form of the Clone Saga, Original Spider-Man, and Kraven's Last Hunt, each of which would be a special comic book run. So again, collectors will enjoy, and they're very thematic, each and every one. We have Doc Ock, Master Planner, pretty nice. We have Norman Ozborn, pretty good. Carnage, I believe this is one of the best arts of Carnage. We have Behold the Sinister Six, a very powerful spell, and also really nice. And again, Eddie Brock. So Eddie Brock is the only transformer, so this is what he looks like when transformed. And this is the base form there. So Lethal Protector, again, reference to the comics, pretty nice. We're going up now to these. These are called the source material cards. I don't know how many or how they dispersed, but they will vary in terms of price. So you may put something that worth a lot like the Skitterix, or even a little less like the Shock. Or you can pull a gem like this Opposition Agent, which so far from all the reveals definitely will be first or second in terms of most expensive between him and King in Black Venom, which is Skitterix. These are my pick for the most two expensive cards in the set. As I was saying, the Venom and Opposition Agent, will be presumably, so far after the reveals, definitely most expensive, 1 and 2. But not sure which one to get first, which one will be second. The Silk is amazing as well. I believe it's the only card with Silk in the set. And Silk has her dedicated fandom. So, could look forward to that. So we have a lot of retrains here, just like what happened with the Final Fantasy. But each one of these would be a very big collector item. Because again, the Marvel fans don't actually have their own card game in terms of Avengers and all that. And anything Spider-Man sells. So, this will be pretty good on its own. And even in terms of just being a collector or seeing something really cool, these would look amazing in foil, especially these two. Even the Terminate, which will be dog cheap because they print this to the ground. A foil Terminate like this would be really nice. I would actually look for a playset of these. So if it happens in time, I may try and hunt some of these as well. So we'll see. I will actually do some opens on my channel as well, so let's keep going. So next we have the showcase here. So we have the Spider-Man showcase, which has the webs here on top, and these particular arts. Recent addition that I spoiled today is the radioactive spider, which in itself is pretty good. Again, these only should be available in the collector boosters foil, so might be just these. Showcases usually come in packs as well and have these slots for them, because showcase also means borderless. But these particular arts seem to be, especially webbing, might be the highlights of the set. Again, these are all MBFCs, meaning they transform. So you take a look at that. Look at that. Pretty nice. We have the Gwen next. Again, pretty nice. Spider-Punk doesn't transform, so unfortunate. We have Miles. Pretty good, right? I think we might actually have Norman Ozborn as well, because going by the formula, he may be next as well. The spider doesn't transform, but it is actually pretty cool. So, of course, we have the Soul Stone, and this looks to be a box topper or some sort of exclusive, because we had this Golad before as a box topper. So we'll see, because this is actually in the set. We have a couple here with, I don't know why this is on the showcase, but extended arts and alt arts here, which are pretty nice. So we'll go over the actual card things here, but lots of extended arts here. The old Spider-Man meme, pretty nice, with great power. So all in all, very good. The Gwenom, the Agent Venom here with Flash, because he's actually Flash. Pretty nice. Web of Life and Death. Again, just really good. Interdimensional Web Watch. Lots and lots of references. Pretty nice. Ultimate Green Goblin. One of my favorite villains. That has only shown up a couple of times in media. Of course, you have the Iron Spider suit as well. So, that's pretty nice. Now let's get into the actual set. These are welcome deck stuff. We'll get, when I get a full deck list, I'll look over that. Right, so actual set. So these are the lands. We have the regular lands here, and I believe these will be in a limited number of packs. The same rate as regular full arts, and available in the bundle. So I'll get a whole heap of these. So I find that pretty nice. Regular lands and Bad Ether with the iconic New York skyline. Again, Places of Note, Oscorp Industries, Multiversal Passage, Daily Bugle, Vibrant Landscape, pretty nice. One thing I appreciate from this set is actually the food and the transport, which is a big reference to the real world, and this is a first for Magic on its own. So just enjoying the relative realism of it. So we have like Bagel, we have a passenger ferry here, we have a subway train, and oh, it's not lost on me all the characters that could actually go into the subway and do these things where you could have like ridiculous moments. Now if you have SpongeBob and My Little Pony and so much other cards. But unironically, the card that I think going to be most underrated is the spider suit. So I'm going to go on a slight tangent on the spider suit. I usually have timestamps, so you can skip the spider tangent. My editor will literally name this section spider tangent, but enjoy. So firstly, I really like spider suit simply because it has almost the exact cost of broken glass, which is 1 mana to play, 1 mana to equip, which is beautiful. It costs you 1 mana to pick up a sharp piece of glass and cut your own hand. This costs 2 mana, and I guess arguably can hurt you just as much. Imagine what you can do with this. It's color so you can go in any deck. You can put anyone in a spider suit. You could put Megatron, you could put Optimus, you could put so many things. Just imagine these shenanigans. I'll be putting up examples on each king while I go through this, and just look at them. I believe that while mentioning this and like just laughing for like a half hour at just the absurdity of it, I started thinking, wait, the universe get expanded so much in Magic that we could actually start seeing some really, really fun stuff. And that really had me going through a loop. First, just the spider suit. It makes them a spider hero. We got Socrates and Leonardo da Vinci recently. So you can literally make Socrates and Leonardo da Vinci Spider-Man. We got, I mentioned Transform, we got the Lord of the Rings set. So you could literally make whoever Spider-Man, give them the ring, and equip them with great power. With great power comes, of course, great responsibility. Even funnier, if you start naming the villains, even the ones that have ominous names or just outright evil, and you're giving them the spider suit and making them basically a hero. But honestly, there's one card that actually had the pose, and I thought it when I first saw it, being not Frodo. Frodo's pretty cool as well, but Smeagol or Gollum. He's in the spider pose. I'm going to put the two cards face to face. Face to face don't make sense, side to side, and you will tell me how it looks. I find that shit so funny and amazing. So you can finally have the good old meme of Megatron versus My Little Pony versus SpongeBob, all fighting somebody from Warhammer 40k, and SpongeBob summons Toxrill, who is actually Gary, and is massacring the field, and all the time, all of them are equipped with the one ring, because of course they are, and they all in Spidey suits pointing at each other. And of course there might be just one player who just really into food and really into cosplaying and has all the iconic food just there. Because again, they did amazing with this. Because there's a bagel and schmear. Come on. There's a hot dog stand. And they've been printing a lot of actual food lately. Like real world food and food items, which is pretty nice. I believe in the most recent set, which is a space set, there was like a nutrition block, which was food as well. In Eldraine, there was like the servants of porridge and lots of food to go with the food creatures and stuff. So things looking really nice for the food. But yeah, that's like items I know. Of course, Parker's camera and pictures of Spider-Man should be somewhere there. Why pictures of Spider-Man? There's an actual item called Pictures of Spider-Man, so that's why I'm naming that. Of course, we also have these things of note. So regular Carnage, but we actually have Cosmic Spider-Man here, which gives all the keywords to all Spider-Man. We have Doc Ock with 8 power, which is pretty good. We have Spot, who never dies and teleports things. We have Superior Spider-Man, referencing body snatching. Craven, Spider-Man 299, who can only be played in the future. Amazing. We have Scarlet Spider Ben Reilly. Pretty nice, that was pulled today. As well as Scarlet Spider Kane. And again, amazing. Indian Spider-Man, we have Wraith, which is just outright broken. Double strike and can't be blocked. 3 mana, white blue. Utter shit. See to any table, kill on sight. kill on sight. And we get into just the colored cards here. Of course, the grow extra arms, angry rabble. The fact that J. Jonah Jameson literally gets profits off menace, and menace is actually giving the creatures the menace mechanic. We have thwip. We even have the web swinging mechanic, which basically is saving your creature and returning it to your hand, which is in itself is an amazing mechanic and definitely going to be limited to this region, and by region I mean this set, right? And possibly even only the Marvel block of cards. And with the only stone revealed being the Soul Stone, sorry about that, it is all but assured we're going to get multiple Marvel sets. And that in itself is really, really amazing. So, lots to look forward to. Seems like they have a really good crossover. We have Spider-Man Brooklyn Visionary, which is a cheaper version of Miles, cheaper in terms of rarity and price. Pretty nice. We have the Spider X, all that stuff, Spider Cat. Just lots of references here. Like at first I just saw stuff and like, ugh, yeah, it kind of cool. Like Spider-Man here, and then you realize that everything is a reference, and the whole set literally tells a story. Magic hasn't been doing stories for a long time, and we finally are back to it in the most amazing way. I don't know how the Soul Stone ties into this yet, but I'm sure it's great. Even the art, especially art, because it seems like these people and the artists are true comic book fans and just living the dream, finding it to illustrate, or even if Marvel gave illustrations for them to use, either way it's amazing. And just a reference everywhere too. And then getting back to even some really, really cool things, like behind the Radioactive Spider here, we have some broken cards like Electro, that will actually change the standard landscape and is pretty strong, even CDH variable. And then getting into just little niche things that just comic book fans are going to lose their mind over. Because just like with Pokemon, every single character has a bunch of fans. And especially when it comes to the Spider-Man fandom, stuff goes off the rails. So that's basically a quick run through the set, and just everything enjoyable. I can't even pick a couple of things because each one of these things on their own will just turn into a comic booky video, and I'm not sure if anybody into it as much as me yet. But I could always do it at any point, so we'll see how that goes. But again, just an amazing set, and even though Universes Beyond becoming just so much, and this may actually ruin the immersion and standard, I would actually propose, and maybe I'll do a video on that later. Instead of fighting magic, we may actually be able to make it self-contained games. So just like Cube, but you're only using the magic cards available in that particular universe. So they did Warhammer. You can have a Warhammer only restriction to magic, EDH or standard, whatever your poison is. I mean, you can only use those cards in that. Then we do one for Marvel. We could do one for each of the universes beyond, and that would actually manage Power Creeper as well. So things to have conversations about. But I think I kept you here long enough. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate the support. And not everybody can keep up with the cycling magic. So just seeing how best I can, and somebody's gonna break up in the shorts. And maybe people will find it and get a better interest and not have Spider-Man or really some of these amazing cards sneak up on them. But yeah, could be some fun there. Could be some real fucking fun there. But thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed it, and bye.